Welcome back to the channel. We're back with the CFS-9000 today, and today we're hopefully going to find out exactly what's going on with it and what we can do about it. But before we do, just a little something from the previous video. I didn't notice this, but there's your FM stereo and mono switch right there. And I'm guessing it doubles as beats as blah 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 blah. I cannot talk today. That seems to be a running pattern with me. Stupid anxiety disorder. Anyway, this will be the usual beat cancel switch for the AM tuner as well. But yeah, now that I've noticed this, we've got to retest the FM tuner real quick, so let's do that. Fortunately, I am filming this on the very same day that I shot the first part of this series, so I haven't even taken everything apart yet, or pulled everything down yet. So, oh, look at that, we've got a stereo indicator. Imagine that. Let me just get the phone here and we'll restart that track for you. And yes, it is in stereo. Working just fine, except for the fact that reception seems a little weak, considering that the RF modulator is literally 1.5 feet away from the antenna on this thing. I've definitely got other tuners that are a little more sensitive than that. But that could also be because the aerial's broken. You gotta remember that as well, so. But yeah. There are some other things I didn't go over in the previous video, so let's take a look at this again while it's playing. This is actually labeled as a phono, CD, and auxiliary input, so you can attach a turntable to this as well. You've got this little ground thing here for your turntable, so that was nice of Sony to include. And then there's this selector switch here to go between a phonograph and CD and auxiliary. They do this so that they can apply an RIAA curve for equalization to the phono input, because most moving magnet and moving coil turntables don't exactly have what you would call a flat frequency response, so that's what that switch is for. It's to switch in the equalization for those types of turntables. And I'm going to turn off Cat System Corp for now, because, well, we know the tuner works now, so yeah. So I'm going to shut you off real quick right now, and then we're going to pull that speaker apart just to see exactly what's going on with that diaphragm. Okay, here we go, pulling the speaker apart. And again, I am very thankful to have these extra long Phillips screwdrivers. Can't tell you how many times these guys have saved my bacon on jobs like this. You've got all these boom boxes on the market that have these screws just trapped way down inside these 6 to 7 inch deep holes, and then you can't get a normal bit interchange screwdriver down in there to deal with them. So you have to have these ridiculously long screwdrivers in order to do anything remotely like this. I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest that this has never been apart before. Now, we never were going to get a major amount of bass out of these speakers anyway because they're so small, but yeah, I'm kind of thinking the APM thing is more of a gimmick on this than anything else. The real APM stuff Tends to go for a lot of money. And I've never seen a CFS-9000 go for a lot of money, so. It could be that these are just APM in name only, and they've done something like Technics did and just glued some flat diaphragms to a traditional cone driver. Okay, so this is what we've got going on here. It looks like we might have just a regular cone tweeter up there, which is kind of disappointing, but not totally unexpected. And it looks to me like these are soldered down, so how am I going to deal with this? Am I just going to try and leave it in place or what? And look at the size of the magnet on that woofer. Sony's actually trying to take stuff seriously here. And I'm noticing that I can't actually get to the mounting bolts for the woofer from this side. It looks like you just get to them from the front. So I didn't actually need to take this apart. But I'm kind of glad I did anyway, because then I wouldn't have noticed that there's some stuffing in there to help with the acoustics. There aren't a lot of manufacturers that would go to that length, I gotta tell you. Like, I've taken apart several Panasonic boomboxes, and they don't have that kind of thing in there. So I'm going to put this back together real quick, and then we'll take the real front off the unit, just to see the driver itself. Okay, folks, I got the speaker back together, and we are about to find out, hopefully, what's going on with this diaphragm. And for those of you who might want to know, this is a 4mm Allen bit I'm using to get into this thing. And remember what I said about these plastic screws, or these screws that go into plastic in my JVC video. You can't just put them in and then crank down on them. You've got to run them backwards. And you'll hear and feel a thump like I did just there. See, there it is again. That's when you know that the thread is fully seated in the plastic. And that's when you can reinstall your screw. But we're taking this one apart, so I'm taking that out for now. Okay, now we should be able to just get this grill off and take a look at what we're dealing with here. I'm going to do this as gently as I can, because it looks like this grill has become a little bit divorced from the little surround. Okay, now we can see what we've got to deal with here. And yes, those are very definite holes in the diaphragm, or in the dust cover. Diaphragm, dust cover, I'm not sure if it makes much difference at this rate. But yeah, I want to get a good look at this driver. So let's see if we can get it out of there somehow. Alright, so I've got a dental pick, and I've got some needle nose pliers. I'm hoping one or the other or both will get this driver out without damage, because I really want to see how this is constructed. Not the easiest thing to get out of there, I'll tell you what. That gigantic magnet on the back is really hampering my efforts here. Okay, there we go. There's the driver. Looks like we've got a little bit of a a foam seal that goes around it, and you can clearly see how this is constructed. Yeah, it's sort of a basic, cheaper APM style construction here. It doesn't have the multiple big beams like larger APM drivers tend to have. And I'll show you a picture of those if I can find a decent one. But yeah, it looks like we've got this little aluminum cone that's attached to the back of the diaphragm here. And I'm pleased to see that the surround on this is in good shape, because it's really, really hard to find replacements for these surrounds. I'm not sure if it's any easier now, but when I first started researching APM speakers back in the day, these were falling apart and there were no replacements. So I'm glad to see that. And it looks like yonder tweeter is just glued in from here or something, because it's just coming right out of there. Yeah, that's just some kind of glue there, and we've definitely got a cheap cone tweeter here. But such is life. We're not dealing with an FH7, so we don't need the actual APM tweeters on this one. I mean, take a look at the size of this woofer compared to my hand. It's maybe 3.5 inches. We're not going to get any real amazing sound quality out of this unit, no matter how much you might want to. So, I mean, it probably still sounds decent, but compared to the bigger APM stuff, no. And it looks like I got that gasket in there a little crooked, so I'm just going to try and fix that up a little bit, and then we'll be back with you once we get inside the main unit. So here I am getting ready to take the main unit apart, and I'm immediately noticing that someone has been into this unit before. Let me see if I can show you how I know that. This screw right here is not fully tightened down. So somebody got in there for some reason or another, did some servicing work probably, and didn't quite get that screw back in properly. So, hard telling what we're going to find once we get in here, but only thing we can do is get in there. I have a feeling we probably have to remove this handle from the top of the unit as well, so we shall do so. But not before putting the cart before the horse and getting all the back screws out first. And I'm just continuing to use my long screwdriver because it is magnetized. And also because I don't know when I'm going to run into screws that are way deep down in there. And then I therefore need long screwdrivers. I'm looking for more screws here. Not really seeing any. Oh, we've got a couple on the bottom. Sony's being tricksy with us today. And I'm noticing we've got these weird little slots in these sort of feet up here. I wonder if those are to run the speaker wires. To clean things up a bit. Let me just get one of the speakers up here. We'll take a look at the bottom. And nope, I don't really see any type of clip there. I do see we've got a broken foot right there, but who cares about that? I wasn't expecting this unit to be perfect, so it clearly isn't. Let's see, have I gotten all the screws? I think I have, except for maybe the top handle. I don't know whether or not I actually need to remove this handle, but I'm going to do it anyway. Once I get the right bit out here. But yeah, it's just nice to have something from Sony back when the word Sony meant something quality. I have been looking for one of their boomboxes for a long time, and finally I decided, well, I'll just go on this one. There's a few Japanese-only boxes I would love to get my hands on, but considering the state of my finances, plus how ridiculously expensive it was to get the last thing from Japan, I'm just lucky to have this, I think, because it was fairly local. Now, how does a guy get this thing apart? Okay, it just pulls apart. Just like this. And yes, they made it real easy to get into this unit. I don't know if you can see it here, but you've got these two contacts way back in here. My screwdriver's pointing at them. Those contact these 2 points right here for battery power. And then further up, you've got sort of the same deal for the antenna connection. There's this metal little area here, and that contacts this point right here. So that was nice of them. I'm going to put this part of the housing aside for now, and I'm just going to take a little look around here just to see if I can figure out just how to take this apart further, because we do need to get access to the cassette mechanism. Ooh, I'm seeing stuff I don't like. Look at that. That is nasty. That is some big time corrosion there. What is that from? Could it be from the battery compartment? I tend to doubt it, actually, because the battery compartment isn't really right over that area. And I'm just taking a look at the back off camera right now, and I really don't see any signs of corrosion from batteries in there at all. So that is from something else. Note to self, clean all this crap up, because that does not look good. But yeah, the cassette mechanism is going to be tricky to get out of here, I think. I think what we need to do is pull this faceplate off. I should probably zoom out so you can see what I'm doing here. I think we need to remove this front plastic faceplate in order to do anything else. And it looks like the tuner board is integrated with that, so fortunately we do have all these connectors up here to assist with this, and I'm guessing our issue with the auxiliary input is going to be up in here somewhere, but we'll deal with that another time. Right now I just want to get at this tape deck so I can see exactly what I need to order for it. So yeah, we've got a couple of screws on either side holding the faceplate on, it looks like. Hopefully this is the way to do this. Not exactly thrilled with how this is put together at this stage. Because as you can see, it's pushing this little plastic piece out right now. I really don't want to break this unit, even though I'm not planning on selling it. I would like to keep it in one piece. Yeah, I'm guessing this isn't exactly how this comes apart, so I am going to put those screws back in for now. Let me think here. Guys, I'm going to go off camera for a second while I try and figure this out. Okay, so I think I got this figured out now. And you guys are probably yelling at the screen right now for me having missed it, but what are you going to do? On each side, you've got these two screws. There's one up here, one down here on these little metal tabs. And you just take those out on either side. As you can see right now, it's free. And it's just clipped in right now. So it should come straight off. Hopefully without damaging anything. But we have to be careful because we do have all these wires and stuff going to the front control board. So what I'm going to do right now is just go like this. Like so. And it looks like we got a bunch of crud down in there too, so who knows what that's from now that I've touched it and all. So how do we get the cassette mechanism out of this yet? And yes, I could disconnect all these connections here and set this aside. In fact, I probably should just go ahead and do that. But I don't want to deal with those wires just now, so I won't. I'd like to tempt fate again. So let's see if we can figure out how this comes out. I see a couple of screws up top. There's one in here, one over here, and there should be some others here somewhere. But where? Yes, those two top screws are the ones to deal with. Let me move you over here so I can get a better look at what I'm doing. Trying to be careful so I don't cause more damage. This is not the easiest thing to do here. I see a couple more screws. There are two more screws on the bottom. But I'm not exactly sure how one gets to them. Oh, I guess that would do it. You flip the door down. You just hit the eject mechanism, which is on the side here, this little lever, and there you go. So yeah, there's two screws down here we got to remove as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Once again, being very glad I've got the long screwdrivers. Now let me see exactly which screw down here is the one to take out. Because we've got two next to each other here. I think it's the outer one here. Which is I don't know, some kind of real tight screw there. So I'm going to have to get some real force on that somehow. Oh, there it goes. That was really in there. And out she comes. Yeah, I don't know who put that thing in there originally, but they were strong. Or the robot was strong. Whatever. Oh, and this one's gonna fight too, is it? Well, nothing fights me for long. I got her. And yep, we got one more to deal with. And it's the outer one again. Okay, there we go. We should be able to just hopefully pull the tape deck out now. I want to do this carefully because we will have wires and stuff back in there. As well as a record switch, apparently. All right. We do have some wires to free up, and I need a flashlight. All right. I'll just set this right there. And what we've got to do is somehow unwrap this little keeper here. I don't know if you can see it at all. I hope you can. Just getting the dental pick in here. Trying to unravel this little thing. It's not like I get a lot of clearance here to work with. I can barely see this. All right, we got that one freed up. And we've got another one here. Please don't fall over. Okay. Which wires do what and which wires go where? We only want to disconnect the ones for the tape deck. And this connector here would be one of them. Right there. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's... Let me see if I can get you in there. This one, right here. You need to unplug that one. If it's the type that actually unplugs. It appears to be. However, it is not unplugging. Oh, before we do that, let's free up these two connectors down in here. Make note of where the white and the red wires go because it's two separate connectors. Oh, wait, no it isn't. It's one connector. That just unplugs just like that. Okay, now we've got plenty of play on these wires so we can disconnect them and hopefully get the whole mechanism out, because I do not want to deal with the mechanism while it's still connected here. And this appears to be the same type of connector we just released, only it's fighting me. And you want to be careful not to pull on the wires, because that's a problem. Oh, that is not unplugging. See, the thing is, if I pull on the wires, it breaks the connector, or breaks the wires. Oh, there we go. Finally it came out. Like so. Just be patient with it. It'll come eventually. Now, what else do we have to free up here? Got several more connectors that go down to this area here, so we're going to have to deal with them, and I need some cutters. All right, let's see if we can do something with this now. I'll turn off my flashlight so there's no glare from that. And it looks like, well, at this point we might as well just go ahead and disconnect everything so we can get this whole assembly out of the way. But in order to do that, we got to get rid of this zip tie. Gotta love it when zip ties fight you. Okay, so just make a note of where everything goes. This cable seems to actually go back inside the unit somewhere, so we're not gonna be able to get at that yet. Just trying to figure out where everything goes here. This connector here, this one with the black, that goes all the way down inside the unit, way over here where my finger is. Fortunately, that one's easy to figure out because it's color-coded. This one goes back in there as well. Looks like a 4-pin connector, so keep track of that. I hope that's the only 4-pin we've got to deal with, so we're not too confused later when we reassemble. We'll grab this 2-pin back here because this goes to the tape deck. All right, we're back with the 13 Pro Max. The XS Max is overcharging, having disappointed me. So, back when my phone was dying there, I mentioned that we were taking this connector off. This is, like I said, for the tape deck. Goes to one of the solenoids in the unit. And what else have we got to deal with here? Just these two final connectors. One's a 3-pin and one's a, looks like a 7-pin. That one is not coming out very easy. There it goes. There, and now we can finally put this aside, or so I thought, which was apparently erroneous. Great, we've got one more cable that goes all the way up to this connector. There we go. Now that the faceplate is fully disconnected, we can get rid of it. Put it aside. Now, the tape deck appears to only have one final connection, and that's this 2-pin up in here. There we go. We'll push that up to the top of the table there, and then we'll take a look at this tape deck. See if I can set you guys up here so you can see everything. So the one good thing about the Pro Max is that I can use the wide angle camera on this one. The XS Max doesn't have that kind of a wide angle. Good Dr. Pepper. All right, what have we got going on here? All right, you can sort of see exactly where that little gear used to be. Let me see if I can show you here. Actually, it'd be easier if I could just put this thing down. But then you can't see exactly where that little gear goes. So the gear goes, where's my dental pick? The gear goes right down on this shaft. That's the flippy head mechanism right there. And this is the gear that drives it. And this little spring here is supposed to be attached to that gear, the broken one. So I'm real glad to see that this spring is here because it could have very easily gotten lost. It's just tiny. So yes, it is there. Glad to see it. Now, as far as the belts go, as suspected, we've got multiple belts going on here. This is the counter belt right here. Got this little weird windmill looking pulley there. And the reason it's a weird looking windmill thing is because there is an optical sensor right there that tells the deck whether or not the reels are turning. So if you've got one of these boom boxes, you absolutely have to have this belt in there and working. And it feels really stretched out to me, so we're going to be replacing that. Like I would get it apart to this point and not replace it. So, what are the other belts looking like? Well, it looks like they're actually still attached, which is mind-blowing. Because usually when I get these things, these belts are in terrible shape. But just to be safe, I will pull the back plate off the mechanism and we'll just take a look. Because like I said, once you get a tape deck to this point, you might as well just replace all the belts anyway. I don't know if I've got the actual belts to do the replacement or not, but I have found the specifications online, so I don't have to actually measure them right now. So I will not measure them right now. But I will look at them just to see how bad they are, and furthermore to see how bad the other gears in the unit are like. Because like I said, if any of the other gears are broken and I can't find replacements, then well, we're done with this unit. I had a hard enough time finding a replacement gear for the flippy head mechanism, which I have not ordered yet, and I will not order until I know for sure whether or not I'm going to be throwing money away here. All right, I think we've got this freed up. Maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, we got to take this tape away, which is tearing as I'm trying to get rid of it. Because we need to be able to get some of these wires out of the path of destruction here. Like that one. And this one. Let me tell you, if you're in electronics, get yourself a few dental picks. They will save your bacon. Okay, Okay, we've got some more wires to free up here. If we can. I'm going to just unwrap these wires here because I have a feeling I'm going to need to. And we'll set that off to the side. Just unravel these as best I can. So the last thing I want to do is try and fix all these little tiny wires up in here. It's best to get them all out of the way, just to make sure you don't damage anything. Dental picks, they're not just for teeth anymore. And usually the place where I like to get my dental picks is Princess Auto. Usually they'll have a bunch over in the clearance or surplus section, and that's where I get them. They're usually not that expensive either. Probably need to get a few more actually. These ones I'm using now have been damaged by years and years of taking power supplies apart for Johnny Guru. Okay, we've just about got things freed up here. One more wire is holding us up. But not anymore. Now we can take this plate up and we'll see just how good or bad the belts are. I'm betting they're not good. Oh, we got a little spring here to deal with. Remember that spring. Don't lose it. All right, there we go. I'll just pull these belts off here. Yeah, these are really, really hard. They need to be replaced. They absolutely need it. Without replacing those, we could have gotten it working again and immediately had it eating tapes or who knows what else. And I'm immediately seeing that I've got a nightmare ahead of me. You see these 4 wires down here? These little tiny ones? I'm gonna have to desolder those to replace that gear. Won't that be fun? So, now we gotta take a look at these gears and see exactly what's going on with them. Are they broken or what? I'm just gonna pull everything over here so I can see better. Try and set you up so you can see too. Get in real close like. Oh, maybe not that close. All right, I'm just gonna look in here. I don't see any broken teeth. Let me get my flashlight. Okay, this is encouraging. This is very encouraging. I think we might have just gotten lucky with this unit. If there are any broken teeth in there, I do not see any. No, I see no broken teeth at all. I think we're good. So, since those belts were ridiculously hard, I'm not even going to bother putting them back in there. I mean, why would I? The deck doesn't play tapes anyway with the flippy head doodad the way it is. So I'm going to keep those two belts out to help with tracking down replacements. I'm going to put this back together now, at least loosely back together. I'll order the little gear that goes on the flippy head. And man, I just hope I don't have to deal with those tiny little wires there. I mean, look at those things. Yeah, they don't look so bad right now, but look at that. That's the size of my finger. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to dealing with those wires. However, it's good that I'm getting them on video right now because, well, I might need this footage in order to reattach those wires. So I'll put you back here. And yeah, I guess that's going to conclude part 2 of this series. In part 3, we'll go ahead and do the full tape service on this. Hopefully get everything working again, get that gear replaced. Then hopefully this will be back to playing tapes in no time. Well, it's not going to take no time. It's going to take considerably more time than no time. But you know what I mean. So I guess that's going to be it for today. I'll see you all next time. Take care.